we realized she was losing. She was losing intellectual function. She was losing right side.
Yeah, I know when I was listening to the video, I was thinking for all of us out here to imagine what it would be like having a child going through something like that and the making that choice, like you said, with the brain and it's their mind and it's their soul and it's who they are and it's how you know them, and yet the piece of it with the concert
Mm.
and having Beth actually share that she felt like she had ruined the concert and how emotional that must have been. So, Beth, can you remember what that was like when getting ready to go into surgery and
I
having
really
all that happen?
wish I could say I remember,
Yeah.
but only from stories.
Yeah.
But I was petrified. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I'd wake up being the same person. All I knew was I wanted to get rid of the seizures.
Absolutely. So we did notice, I assume you noticed who the surgeon was. It was pretty interesting. Not as interesting a year ago as it's suddenly become. And he did have a presidential run. So what was that like for you? Was that interesting to
I was
see him?
this close to a night in the Lincoln bedroom. This close.
Oh, just wait till she gets started. You've heard nothing yet. That's fantastic. So just for those of you who may not have caught what was actually happening, the actual surgery process was that they did remove the entire left part of her brain. And I remember hearing Beth present this at the Association for Applied and Therapeutic Humor. And a big part of Beth's resiliency story actually has to do with humor, and I'm going to have her share more about that in a few minutes. But my thought process and really understanding what was happening was the entire left part of her brain was gone. And we know now in neuroscience that it's not as simple as right brain, left brain. It's really interconnected. It's a lot of timing. And even as they were talking about in the video, they had thought that maybe some of her memories and some of her knowledge had actually started to plant itself in the healthy right side as the left side was deteriorating. So this is one of the amazing things about the brain is it's radically adaptable and resilient if it's given the right type of stimulation. And so when Beth had told her story at the conference, and I went up and I asked her immediately, you know, here I am, I'm studying the brain, and I'm so fascinated by all of this. How on earth do you do this? And she said, actually, do you remember what she said to me about your right mind?
Oh, I'm always in my right mind because that's all I have.
She said, I'm always in my right mind.
I think I will be wrong.
And it was like, I mean, the stuff she comes up with is really fantastic. So